pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Okay, first item of business is the public hearing on the application of Mastech Network Solutions relating to, I think they're representing AT&T, to make some upgrades to some antennas in the southern part of the township. And is somebody here from either Mastech or AT&T to present that information to us? Oh, she's on Zoom. Okay. Okay, well, if you can hear me, why don't you go ahead and make your presentation. This is the public hearing, so the public is here to hear your presentation. If you have any comment to make about your application. I can't see her, but apparently she's around someplace.
She's in Colorado.
Colorado. Okay, Colorado. Calling Colorado.
Hi, I'm so sorry about that. I was just on the phone with my colleague who's actually going to step in and be kind of presenting for us and just giving you the rundown. Yeah, I have not attended a public hearing before, so this is kind of a crash course for me. Like I said, my colleague Tamara Pritchard is going to hop on in just a second, and she will speak to our project.
Okay.
So sorry, we were just chatting about it on the side. 1 moment. Oh. All right. Tammy, if you would like to start. Andrew, what was your question for us?
Well, I was just opening it up for you to kind of describe the nature of your request and you know, the reasons why we should approve it, I guess.
Okay, I'm happy to do that. Sorry, I was on a different link. I was on a Teams link for some reason for another meeting, so apologize for being late. My name is Tammy Pritchard. I'm the project manager for Mastech, and it includes this site. So I am looking at the scope of work currently. It looks like we're modernizing the project. We're coming up with we're putting up additional antennas. We're only increasing the count. I showed that you have 8 antennas currently, and we're moving to 9 antennas. So it's 1 extra antenna, but we're not taking up any additional lease space. We're using our own, the mounts within our lease envelope. We are replacing all of the radios that you have 9 currently, and we're replacing 9 for a final count. We are we're keeping the 2 surge protectors, not increasing the count there. We're keeping our fiber count the same, and we're keeping our DC power trunks the same. 4 are existing and 4 will remain. And that is quite literally the scope of work. It's antenna and radio replacement.
Okay, I have a couple of quick questions, and just one of them is, my understanding is part of the purpose of this is to improve service to wireless customers in the area.
It is.
Okay, and so does that just apply to AT&T customers or other customers as well?
It does. It's solely AT&T licensed spectrum.
Okay. Another question I had was, does this increase, radio frequency, like the wattage or the radio frequency radiation and that sort of thing coming from these?
So we have those reports ran, and we are all within the federal guidelines.
Okay. There will be an increase, I gather, in power maybe, or in the radiation, but it's within federal guidelines. Is that your?
It is correct. Correct. We've got to run those compliance reports early on, and we have that here. We're well within federal guidelines.
Okay. All right. Since this is a public hearing, is there any member of the public that would like to speak regarding this request for a conditional use permit amendment? Anybody wish to speak to this? If not, what I think I'd like to do is close the public hearing, and then we'll consider it as a board, and we'll hear from the Planning Commission, who I think probably has some recommendations regarding this. One more time, anybody from the public wish to comment on the CUP application? If not, we'll close the public hearing, and we'll move to consider this as a board. And the first thing I would like to do there is probably have somebody from the Planning Commission address us with regard to the Planning Commission's recommendation.
The Planning Commission reviewed this at the December meeting. I wonder if there's a discrepancy in the existing scope, because the application said there were 6 antennas, and then she said there was 8 tonight. But I don't know if that matters. I mean, the total antennas when they're done is 9, whether it's 6 plus 3 or 8 plus 1. Maybe.
Right, exactly. The final count is 9. And according to the information that I have not been out to the site. I haven't audited it, but based on the information we have in front of me, I have 8 antennas existing, and we are adding 1 additional antenna. Correct.
That's
Oh,
retaining 6
so-
and adding 3.
So the application is incorrect then, is that right?
I did look at that just now. That must have been before we revised it or something, because
Okay.
that was the original application that was submitted. So I do
Okay.
apologize for the discrepancy there. If that was corrected on the DE 130 document that we had, then I did not.
Yeah,
Is the
That's that
drawing
one.
correct?
the drawings are correct.
I was looking at the drawing, yeah. Well, regardless, the Planning Commission reviewed this and they're recommending approval of this. And there was a question there whether even amendment to the conditional use permit was needed, because there's no changes to the tower. I don't know if we've got a response from the planner on that, but that was an open item. And again, the Planning Commission did unanimously vote to recommend to approve this application, so.
Okay.
Mark?
Yeah.
What was that, our November? Because we didn't have a meeting.
Yeah, we did have a meeting in December. We didn't have a meeting in January. I have the meeting minutes. I'm going to
Right.
double, am I right? Yeah, double check. Yeah, December 18th. Yeah, yeah.
And, yeah, the planner did produce a report and recommended approval, I think, with some conditions of approval on page 2 of her report. And I'll just ask council, I think council's prepared a resolution for us. And I just want to verify with council that that resolution did take into account and you know, all of the conditions of approval that the planner had recommended. I assume it did, but I just want to make sure that's what we've got before us in terms of a resolution comports with the planner's recommended conditions. Because was the proposed resolution prepared basically off of or from the planner's resolution approving?
When we first prepared that resolution, I think definitively. It didn't look like it was.
Okay. And I assume the planning commission, your recommendation incorporates the planner's recommendations. I would take it. Would I be right?
Yeah, I wasn't at that meeting in December, and I
Okay.
haven't seen the planner's recommendation.
Okay. Okay.
Did she provide the recommendation?
Yeah. Her report's dated December 10, 2025.
Then it would incorporate her recommendation.
Okay, great, okay. Okay, so what I would like to, I'd like to move that we approve the requested amendment to the conditional use permit, but subject to the proposed conditions of approval that were recommended by the planner and the planning commission. And before we, I guess maybe before we sign the resolution, I'd like to just make sure that it complies with and incorporates those recommendations. So that would be my motion. Do I have a second? We can certainly discuss it after we've got a motion on the floor. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Got some thoughts or concerns?
Are we just, we're replacing, we're just amending the,
We're amending the previous CUP,
does
right?
that replace, because the previous CUP does have some of the conditions that we're seeking.
Oh,
But, so is this in addition to, or does it completely replace?
well, I don't think it completely replaces the existing CUP. This is an amendment. Whoa, that's loud. Yeah, so this is an amendment to the other one, and so I don't think it supplants it. But, once again, I would like council to clarify that for us before we sign the resolution.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah,
I just received a message from a resident asking the council to turn on their microphone, please.
asking, council, yeah. So, yeah, your microphone switch right there. When you speak, you should flip that up. And then when you're not speaking, you can have it on. Yeah.
I have a question, Phil. I haven't seen the existing CUP, so does it allow 8 antennas and then we're going to amend it to allow 9? Is that-
I don't know myself. I was just kind of going off the application that said that they were retaining 6 and adding 3 new. And I don't know what the existing CUP says. I suppose we can, it's, I think it's attached here.
Yes. It doesn't specify the number, though.
They are also changing some equipment. It sounds like it's not just antennas that they're doing.
Correct.
So
Change.
we're replacing like for like on the radios.
I have no issue with kind of, so your initial motion, just kind of incorporating the amendment or the conditions referenced in the planning report, kind of excluding those that maybe overlap. There are some that I think overlap with what's in the draft resolution, but that's fine just to say you want to incorporate the planning report's conditions into the draft resolution.
Do that.
Sure, we'll do that.
And Mark, to answer your question, the system is limited to the size and scope presented in the site plan and can't be expanded except amendment. So that's in the original CUP. So
That's the need for
That's-
it.
That's all logical, and they're adding 1 antenna, so it's different in size and scope.
Yep, right. Okay, so, so then, council, would it be, we can approve this subject to the proviso that we include and incorporate the planner's recommendations. And then, would you say then that I would not, we wouldn't sign this, this resolution until that's been wordsmithed to include that somehow, either by reference or otherwise?
Yeah, once those are added,
Then we
you're
can sign.
authorized to sign it.
Okay, all right, so that's the motion. Any further discussion?
Yes. Okay, Mastech Network Solutions is the applicant. Let's say something goes south with that company. We have no recourse against them. Shouldn't the property owner be applying for this permit?
And maybe you can address that question for us, the applicant. Is Mastech, I guess,
The
maybe- how do we know? Go ahead.
Mostec is a vendor for AT&T. It's called site acquisition, where we do the entitlements and the design.
Yep.
And also the leasing. So we do have an updated lease from the tower owner, which is American Tower Corporation or company, I'm not sure which it is. But we do have an approved lease from them to do these improvements on their tower. We simply need the building permit. It's normal course of action for us to apply on behalf of AT&T. And the recourse that you have is AT&T guarantees with with the building permit, AT&T is responsible for all work that goes on the site. It's an AT&T project. MasTec is doing it on behalf of.
So is AT&T applying for a building permit then?
AT&T is, that's correct, via MasTec, correct.
Through Mazda.
Yeah.
Thank you for your comment. I guess I'd like to ask council how he feels on this question that I had. Shouldn't the owner go for the permit instead of AT&T? Which would be proper?
AT&T is the owner, right?
Well, no,
Instead of Mastic?
no, the property owner is Metro East.
Oh, okay.
So who should really apply for the permit?
You want both, I mean, you want both of them to apply. It doesn't, it's, for any CUP, it's not necessarily solely the owner that's gonna apply for a permit. Because of situations like this, where you have a lease, you know, they're the ones that are kind of conducting this, you know, operation on this parcel. And if there is an issue, CUP is tied to the land. It's tied to the owner. And if there is an issue, it's going to be a private dispute between those two on their lease.
So then I'll just follow up with this question. Are we satisfied that the property owner, is aware of and supports this? I mean, do we have any documentation to that effect? Do we need documentation to that effect?
So we are working on the American Tower, working within our lease space that is with American Tower. Whatever underlying lease rights American Tower has with the property owner, typically we don't run into needing to get the property owner to do it because we've been blessed by the tower owner, and we're working within our compound, which is also through that tower owner, American Tower, and that might be. You said Metro something. I think they're a subsidiary of American Tower Company.
Metro East Properties LLC, yeah. So,
Well,
go ahead.
the original conditional use permit has them listed as the owner, so I think this would be the same thing. The owner of the
Yeah.
property will be on the conditional use permit,
That's fine.
along with the applicant. Seems like-
Correct.
That's satisfactory, counsel?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, this is just an amendment, so that makes sense that they would be on the original.
Right. Any other discussion?
I don't want to hold them up. I think we should approve this, but I think we should make it clear that the property owner on our form here is also an applicant in the future.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. So any further discussion? All those in favor of granting the CUP under the conditions that we've stated, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, no? Okay, good. So we'll just, you can wordsmith that, and when it's ready to go, we'll sign it. Okay? Sounds good. Thank you. Okay.
Great.
Thank you very much.
That
for
it?
Yep, that's it. Thank you for your participation. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yep, bye. All right. Okay, so the next item on our agenda would be the approval of minutes. First, we'll do the regular town board meeting of January 12, 2026. I looked it over. I didn't really see any corrections that leapt out at me. Anybody else have any corrections? If not, all those in favor of approving those draft minutes, please signify by saying, or no, I move. I move that we approve the draft minutes. I need a second.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor of approving those draft minutes, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no? Okay, thanks. All right, next we do the minutes of the budget meeting that was held on January 7, 2026. Once again, I looked over those minutes myself. I didn't see any corrections, but does anybody else have any? No. I'll move that we adopt as approved the draft minutes from the January 7, 2026 budget meeting. Do we have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Anything?
Yeah, well,
Go ahead.
you know, the notes that we reviewed on the changes to give the context during the meeting, you know, like this change or that change, it's kind of, it was denoted by letters.
Yeah, the notes to the financial statements that were prepared by the treasurer,
Yeah,
you're referring to
big-
those, yeah.
I think that's, and I can't remember what they were, but I think that those notes answered a lot of my questions when reviewing the budgets. I'm just wondering if other residents would have additional same
What's
questions.
our policy, what's our practice on that? Do we publish that document at all on our website or anything of that nature?
We will, yes, there's a 3-page document that I put together that has, I think, it'll have 25 actual, 26 or budget, and then 27 proposed budget. And it will have kind of a little note key also that goes with it.
Yep.
So, and then Carrie usually puts my phone number right on the front page of the website, and people can call if they would like.
Sure. So
Okay.
it sounds like maybe those notes are.
They'll be provided at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the website. And maybe I should ask, what's the time frame or timeline for doing that usually? Or what will it be this year, if we know?
When would you like it posted here?
Well, I don't know. I suppose it should be probably pretty soon because we got the annual meeting coming up in a month.
Usually we like to have it out there when the newsletter hits their mailboxes.
Yeah.
So I think I have it ready to go. It's ready to go just whenever Sherry's looking for it.
Okay. Next.
Forward it to me, I'll get it on the website as soon as I get it.
Sounds good.
Okay,
you.
that's helpful. Thank you very much. Any other discussion before we approve these minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those no. Okay, so those minutes are approved. Thank you. Let's see. Next is our treasurer's report and payment of the bills.
In the month of January, the township recorded $63,852.90 worth of receipts. 4,135 came from building permits, 5,500 came from escrow, and 240 came from some right-of-way permits. 3,774 was our final 2025 property tax settlement from Washington County. 35,682 was the second half of the gravel tax for 2025, and $14,642 worth of interest was also booked. The township paid out $965,515.75. $9,200 was payroll. $4,400 was towards our audit that starts on Friday. $10,340 for engineering. $6,684 for salt and sand from Washington County. $4,167 for the CASA 15 payment to Washington County. $5,735 for the lawn care. $674,422 was our first bond payment to the First Bank of Omaha. $222,466 was payment number 7 on the street project. $7,166 tennis recycling, $3,514 building permits, and $6,683 for legal, bringing our total current assets to $5,628,884.13. We have one CD that is coming due at First State Bank in the amount of $266,727.26. That comes due on the 16th of February. So I am going to call and see what they'll give us for rates, and then we can make the decision at that point if it's better. If we have a better rate at 4M, we might as well just sweep it up there. So,
All right, thank you, Marcia.
thank you.
So I will move that we accept the treasurer's report and approve payment of the bills. Do I have a second? Seconded. And moved and seconded. Any discussion? Discussion? No? Okay, all right. Hearing none, we'll need a roll call vote for this.
Supervisor Dana? Supervisor Bulow,
Aye.
Chairman Musburger.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Next is our planning commission update.
There was no meeting in January, so we have no update.
Yeah. Maybe this is a good time to just mention that we're working on implementation of the file server. And we're going to have a joint board and planning commission meeting in coming up later this month, right? 19th. And at that time, Andrew's going to give us a tutorial on kind of how to use it and so forth. And
So
We
the
should go.
19th is the next planning commission meeting. Will it just be done with the planning commission meeting?
right, that was the idea. Yeah,
Oh,
we would
okay.
just we would
Perfect.
just
Yeah.
we would just show up at the planning commission meeting and kind of go through how this file server is going to work, you know, and how to use it and how to access it, and you know, the structure I think is going to be such that there will be two different I guess drives is the way to look on a computer. Two different drives it look like, and one of them will be read-write access, and then will be read-only access for some people, you know. So we'll go through all that at that joint meeting that we'll have coming up on the, what is it, the 19th? 19th.
Yeah, okay.
All right, sir. Very good. Thank you.
Chairman, I think
Yeah.
we're also going to be talking about the procedures. We're going to do an
yeah.
overview
Yeah,
at
we'll
that
go
time.
over. Yep, we'll go over the procedures. That's right.
Administrative
That's the name.
procedures.
Administrative procedures for, you know, holding public hearings and and regular meetings without public hearings, right?
So that'll be a joint meeting between the planning commission and the board, so that'll be noticed
Yep.
as we learn.
Yes.
Okay, I'll be on spring break, but joining remotely.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So then the next item is Dan was going to present a resolution, but I think you wanted to withdraw that resolution, or you want to speak to it.
I'll just
That'd be
briefly.
sure. You bet.
Yes, Dave Schultz and I were sponsoring a resolution that we were going to introduce tonight, but we decided that there's some changes we need to make. So we're just going to rescind it tonight and make some changes.
Okay.
Okay?
And then I'll bring it back,
Yeah,
maybe.
some other time. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. And, you know, and maybe just a little bit of background on this. So I understood that, you know, the proposal it was kind of twofold proposal. One of them was to name this meeting room McPherson Hall. That was one part of it. The other part of it was to have a plaque that would, you know, recognize John McPherson for his contributions to the township. And, you know, I indicated I wasn't in favor of naming part of the hall after a person, but I certainly have no objection. First of all, no objection to you bringing it to the board and having the board consider it, and no objection to, personally, no objection to having a plaque, you know, that talks about, you know, his contributions. I mean, he's a historical figure in the township. So that's kind of, I assume that's why you're gonna revisit it and make some changes
Yeah,
in light of that.
right.
All right,
Okay.
very good. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
And let's see, what else? Okay, so then the next item is going to be to look at the WSB services agreement for the 2050 comprehensive plan. And basically, we've got an amendment to or an addendum, I guess, to our planning services document with WSB before us. We already, I think, approved, and then, by the way, this amendment incorporates the proposal that was made by WSB back in December to provide planning services for the 2050 comprehensive plan for West Lakeland. I think we already approved doing that. The WSB had a maximum dollar figure that they attached to this. What was it?
22.5.
22,500, right. And we actually did approve accepting that proposal by WSB. This document just really memorializes it and incorporates that proposal in an amendment to the planning services document. I don't really know if we need a vote on this formalized version of it. I mean, maybe it doesn't hurt, I suppose, just to adopt it. This is what's in our packet. Go ahead, Council, you got a comment?
No, I was gonna say, I would recommend a vote approving this particular document.
Okay. All right, so, once again, we've kind of gone over this. They're gonna provide, assistance to us, in drafting the, 2050 comprehensive plan. This is a requirement of the, Metropolitan Council, so we have to prepare this document, but, we welcome the assistance of WSB to help us do so, because it's gotten to be kind of a complex, situation. So I'm going to move that we adopt this this amendment to the planning services document that we have with WSB at a cost of up to $22,500 for those planning services.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Do we have to do, I mean, we got out of MS4. Is there any way to get out of Met Council?
We wish there were, but there doesn't appear to be.
You pull one rabbit out of the hat.
Come on, John.
Right.
You can do it.
No, I know what you're saying.
Well-
Okay. It would be good, but my understanding is it's none of the cards.
No.
No, it's not, because of where the township is located, you're automatically in the Met Council's jurisdiction.
Okay. All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, since, oh, go ahead. You got something?
On any matter,
No, on this motion that's before us.
Are there consequences if we don't do it? I'm just asking.
That's a good question. Let's ask council. What other consequences if we don't do it? Do they just do it for us or what?
Not exactly sure. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I'm sure there's something in the statutes that if you don't follow through on that comprehensive plan, there's some kind of consequence.
Could be more expensive potentially as opposed to compliant.
Okay.
All right. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll need a roll call since it does involve approval of the expenditure of funds.
Yep, Chairman Moosberger,
Aye.
Supervisor Dana,
I,
Supervisor Buelow.
Aye. All right. Let's see, next item on the agenda here is the recycling grant. And we've got some proposed activities that we could
Partake in.
sanction and endorse and do in order to obtain, I think it's in order to obtain a recycling grant from the county, right?
Yes, yes, and they highly encourage us to do things because they want to give us their money. They give us a couple $1,000s every year, and we have to tell them that we're doing wonderful things recycling related.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it doesn't cover the expenses of paying for our residents to recycle at the end of their driveways, so it doesn't count for that. So you have to do projects to use up their money. Did you all get something like this emailed to you this afternoon? I put a copy back
Yes.
there, but John, do you?
Yep, I got it.
Okay, so I was just proposing these 4 things, and you can say yay or nay on any of them or ask me any questions. I'm proposing that second chance curbside, or I'm sorry, back up, that second chance mattress pickup that we did last summer, that pilot project in the corner of the town hall where we piled up mattresses to the sky and then they came and took them away magically. It was really well received. We had like 118 mattresses out there, I think, total. It was a big hit. It was free because it was a pilot program. The county was subsidizing it and they wanted us to get people interested and learn more about this wonderful organization in Minneapolis that recycles 96% of their mattresses. And so another option they gave me, which I'm proposing here, is instead of a drop off at the town hall, instead this year we do a pickup at the end of your driveway. If you have a mattress or a box spring that you want to get rid of, you just haul it to the end of your driveway. You pick a date that I'll put out. I'll publicize several different dates. You call Second Chance. They do electronic payments. It's $15 per item, and bam, you're done. So the county wants us to not make it free this year. They want the resident to have a little skin in the game, but $15 is really cheap to get rid of a mattress. So I was proposing we do it that way this year and see how the participation rate is. Some people did express they had trouble getting their mattresses here to the town hall. Like they didn't have a trailer, they couldn't drag it here. So it might be a different way to reach people. And this would be in lieu of the curbside cleanup week, which we always offered mattress pickup, a furniture pickup, and an appliance pickup. And that was through your hauler, not this company, the Second Chance. And as I said in my little memo there, the participation rate has really been kind of low compared to the number of households we have. It averaged about 4% of our households participating, sometimes as low as 2%. And the haulers don't like it because they lose money on it. I asked them to offer a reduced rate, and they do, begrudgingly. And so there's nothing in it for them. And even the county doesn't love it because they don't know what the haulers always do with their materials. They want everything recycled, right? So, so they're happy if I get rid of that too. The reason we went to the curbside cleanup when I first started was we had this recycling expert, this woman that was hired by the town board at the time, and we were trying to move away from the town cleanup day that I never participated in. I don't know much about. I just know it was super costly, up to maybe even $12,000, some years higher. Okay, so it was very costly to the township. And so she had recommended we put the responsibility on the town residents. If you want to get rid of your things, we'll help organize a week that you can do it cheaper. And that's how the curbside event evolved. But
Okay, so this, by the way, is there an option to have the $15 pickup at the end of your driveway and the free drop off at the town hall, or not? That's not an option this year.
The drop off would be $10 per mattress. The pickup at the end of the driveway is $15 because they have to go to multiple different places.
Gotcha.
The county really doesn't want us to make it free again this year because they want people to know that it does cost to recycle, and they offered us more incentive last year to get it to our residents and try it out. It's still a very good deal to do 15 though, because it's, I think, $30 to $40 depending on your hauler to have it taken away.
I think it's like 60 last time I did.
Oh, 60.
Per
Well, there we
piece,
go.
you know.
Well, then it's really a good deal.
Depends who your hauler is, I guess.
So do you have questions or thoughts or
Are we doing all of
comments?
these that are proposed, or do we have to pick?
Yeah, no, you can do up to 4. I'm going to do all of these. It's all mostly on me.
We're just picking A, B, or C in number 1, but we're gonna do 1 through 4.
Oh yeah, the ABC, sorry, is just extra information.
We're doing one of those, and
We're-
obviously B.
We're doing hopefully all 4 if you agree to all 4.
You would substitute, so what do you mean?
So
Ralph?
this mattress pickup at the end of the driveway, we would get rid of the curbside
Yeah,
cleanup
we would
week.
substitute, okay, right.
Right, so we would still offer a way to get rid of people's mattresses, but the appliances and the household goods, they have
Yeah.
to get rid of on their own, which frankly, they can do anytime they want. You just call up Tennis or you call up Maroney's, whoever you have. You say, I have a dishwasher, I need you to take away.
Right.
They give you a nice dollar amount, they charge you on the phone, you put it at the end of your driveway and away it goes. So you can do it anytime. We were just getting the haulers to agree to lower rates that they really didn't want to give out. It was such a such a losing proposition for them. They always complained about it every year. But participated or because they didn't want, they want to keep in good standings with the township. So would you be okay if we tried this and see if people are interested in it? I would promote it similar to the curbside cleanup. I would just make it clear that it's only mattresses and it's through this organization. These are the dates. You have to call on your own. It's not through your hauler. There might be a little bit of growing pains here with people not understanding the changeover, but and maybe some people will really miss the curbside cleanup week, but it's just the rate of participation is just so low. I kind of like to mix it up here. And this organization is pretty amazing what they do.
Sounds good to me.
I'm fine with it.
Anybody else got
Okay.
anything? Do we really need a formal vote on that, or just?
I just wanted to inform you
Everybody's
that
fine.
that's where the dollars would be spent this year. And then I always do newsletter promotion of recycling opportunities. So in every newsletter, you usually see something about, here's where you can, swap out your Halloween costume, or here's where you can do all these fun little recycling ideas that the county has for you.
Okay.
And then a new one this year is food scraps and composting education at our township night out. One of our residents has offered to staff a table for me, and I'm going to help her set it up and get all the materials, but she knows a lot about composting and food scraps, and she is willing to promote those big programs with the community. The county is offering like free bags for people to do food scrap recycling, and they just need to get the word out. So if that's okay, we would do that. And then Kelly, our gardener, has asked if we could get another new compost bin for the town hall gardens. We already have one behind the shed, and she said it's filling up fast, and she loves using the compost bin. So those are my 4 requests that we can use county grant dollars for.
Okay,
Sound good?
I think I'm on board with all that stuff myself.
Okay.
Thank you, Jenny.
Is there a certain time of the year or spring you'd like me to do the curbside recycling?
The
Or the
thing?
mattress, sorry, got it. Maybe I'm gonna use different language. Mattress recycling? I mean, should we do it again in May, or is that gonna complicate matters? Should I move it to June and have it be something new?
Well,
Or
May
do you
seems
not really care?
Stay away from Memorial Day,
Mm-hmm.
but other than
Mhm.
that, I would think May would be good because it's kind of spring cleaning time.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay. I gotta work with Second Chance to get some specific dates, but I think they give me several options.
Okay.
Not just one date, so,
All
okay,
right, that sounds great, Jenny.
I'll get
Thank
going
you.
on that.
Thank you very much. All right. Let's see, next item would be approval of election judges for town board election. And I assume that's Carrie's.
Well, every year, it's state statute that we should sign a resolution accepting the appointed election judges for our annual township election. So this year, I've indicated we have 6 judges that are going to be working this year, and just looking for your approval.
Okay. Well, I'll move that we adopt that resolution and appointing those 6 judges: Debbie Johnson, Brian Kelly, Mary Tierney, Shirley Glass, Nicole McBride, and Jeff Anderson. And do I have a second? Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of adopting that resolution, please signify by saying aye.
I
Aye, opposed no. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll appoint those judges. Thank you for your work on that, Carrie. Appreciate it. Let's see what's next. Next is just new and old business, and I've got a couple things there. First of all, I'll just mention that I did contact the MnDOT to ask what the expected date is for the local road improvement project grant decision and determination to come out. Their goal is to have make the determination by the end of March, I believe. Yeah, end of March, March 31st. And if they don't meet that goal, then it's April 30th. So that's kind of when we can expect that. And in the meantime, our JPA discussion, Joint Powers Agreement discussion with Baytown regarding 30th Street is kind of on hold pending the outcome of this grant proposal. Because the outcome of the grant proposal will impact, I think, those discussions greatly. And so we're kind of holding our breath, hoping that there will be a favorable response to our grant application, and that should make all those discussions a lot easier. Once we hear from MnDOT on that LRIP grant application, we'll have to renew our discussions with Baytown. If we have a favorable response from MnDOT, obviously those discussions become much easier, and it's just a question of exactly, who does what, how we split this up, but there'll be much less at stake in terms of dollars. If we do not get the grant, then we're back to discussing how to split 30th Street, and ultimately we may end up having to involve the county commissioners pursuant to the statute, but we'll see what happens. Next, I think Rachel, you were looking for kind of an update on the pavement management plan, how that's being implemented, or how that's how that's going to play out this summer, and just generally road maintenance. I mean, obviously in the general road maintenance category, we're going to have street sweeping in the spring, pothole patching once that whole situation stabilizes, and then whatever the pavement management plan calls for. But I'll let Chad address that a little bit and just kind of bring us all up to speed on what's tentatively planned under that, and maybe how conditions might impact that.
Yeah, thanks, Chairman and Board. So the plan is to implement the 2026 pavement management plan in this coming summer. There'll be kind of three categories of improvements. There'll be the general crack sealing, those subset of streets that are recommended for microsurfacing, and then edge mill and overlay is kind of the third category we're looking at. Removing 30th Street from the discussion until we really know where things land with the LRIP application. So of those categories of improvements, engineering would like to get eyes on it once the frost is out of the ground to verify that we're getting the right information in the construction documents. If there's extra patching, we want to capture those quantities before they do the mill and overlay or the microsurfacing to account for it in what people are bidding. And winter and the freeze thaw for these types of streets can kind of it can change after frost out. So probably looking, I think last meeting I mentioned maybe a March authorization, March, April, to get authorized from the board to be ready to look at that pavement when the frost is out of the ground and get those packages put together and bid so that we can still get it built this calendar year.
Okay.
And that would be the process, like every year in the frost out, we'll evaluate what's the plan, and then you'll have enough time to engineer and bid and.
Yeah, so for these types of projects that we're proposing, I'd say generally yes. If it's going to be the bigger reconstructs or
Yeah.
reclaim, we'll need to get geotech, survey, and a lot longer lead time for that type of improvement to make sure we're ready to hit the ground running at the start of the year and be in favorable bidding conditions. So monitoring the differences in those types of things and bringing those recommendations forward based on the project type, if that makes sense.
Perfect. So you'll let us know when we need to authorize you for engineering.
Yep, I will.
So we don't have to do anything.
Not yet, but please keep asking questions and making sure I'm on task too.
Well, it's our first year with
Oh, yeah.
managing the pavement on the
Yep.
pavement management plan, so we don't.
Absolutely.
Did you have a question, John?
Yeah, I think you ought to include the curve on 30th Street for microsurfacing, because that road is starting to show signs of wear.
That actually is slated for microsurfacing, is it not? Pursuant to the, on the pavement management plan. He's talking about the stretch of 30th west of Neil, right? That's the new stretch.
Oh, yes, so the stretch from Manning Avenue to Neal,
Yeah.
is that where you're referring to, John? So that
Manning to Neil,
is
right. And I believe that was already scheduled on the pavement management plan for microservice.
Oh, okay.
I think it was.
Is Baytown gonna go?
Well, we don't know. See, that's why
Okay.
we gotta hold off on 30th until we know what Baytown's gonna do.
I'd say put in the curve for sure, and if Baytown wants to join us, do it, because, you know, that'll be our dime, that entire
sure.
curve, so why let it deteriorate?
The only reason maybe not to do it, but I'll defer to Chad's judgment here too, but it might be just that it might be better to do it in one continuous piece. Assuming we do get the division of the street that we're looking for, we could do one continuous pass and maybe that would be more cost effective. I don't know, but I'd leave it up to Chad to address that.
Yeah, Supervisor Bulow, so the section of 30th Street you just referenced is in the plan to be microsurfaced in 2030. We are targeting getting the road about 7 to 10 years of wear on it before applying the microsurface to kind of then push out that first mill and overlay. That doesn't mean that we can't reevaluate these roads if conditions are changing, and the plan is supposed to be dynamic in nature, but still give a baseline budgeting and scope to work off of. So we can certainly take a look at that stretch. 30th Street Bay, I believe it is, the cul-de-sac south, is on the docket for microsurface this year with the 4th, 6th Street loop, the kind of areas that we're planning to be microsurfaced in 2026.
Didn't we just do the 6th Street loop?
What?
Didn't we just do that 6th Street?
Yeah,
something to
it's,
that?
it's a fairly new piece, but the microsurfacing is in lieu of seal coating and it's done on
Okay.
newish roads.
All right.
Yeah, I believe the 4th, 6th Street loop was 2019. So this would put it at about year 7 of wear, and it hasn't been seal coated yet, so.
And then just to refresh my recollection, what's the budget that we've tentatively got planned for next year under the pavement management plan? Is it 1 point some million or something?
Yes, it's 1.4 million for mill overlay or edge mill overlay, plus a reclaimed placeholder, which isn't probably, that's probably coming out.
Yeah.
And then 150,000 for microsurfacing for the 30th Street Bay.
So about 1.5 million, assuming we're not moving, we're not doing anything on 30th, right?
This has the reclaimed number in there, so I'd have to parse that
Oh,
out.
it does.
So it'll be less than that.
Okay. All right, very good. Any other questions for Chad on the roads? Okay, very good. Let's see. Oh, another under old business. Let me just briefly ask about this. I know we were looking at a web host and email host vendor, and we did sort of have. We heard a presentation from one of these vendors. And they had, pretty comprehensive, services to offer, but I think we were gonna look at 1 or 2 more. And I'm just wondering, how we're doing on that.
Well, we haven't moved forward yet on the website, and yeah, so I will be connecting with Rachel
Okay,
in the next couple of weeks. Rachel, been writing down a list of things that would be nice to have on the website, and then I was going to run it by Phil.
sure.
You want
okay.
to look at it as well,
Yep.
and then we can look at least maybe 1 or 2 more. What
Sure.
do you think?
I think, yeah, a couple more maybe would be good, just to be kind of doing our due diligence, and making sure we're, we're hearing from more than just one vendor.
Yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah, we can talk to Civic Plus at least and get that scheduled. But let's figure out, let's just agree on what the features are, 'cause
Sure.
otherwise it's hard
Perfect.
to evaluate.
Perfect. Just want to keep it on our radar. That's all I'm doing. Okay, cool. Thank you. Next, John, did you want to address briefly some information you learned at the LEAC meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Your microphone.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Yours gets feedback for some reason.
Yeah,
You have to
that's why I keep
adjust it.
turning it off. Complaints are down, flights are down, Plane crashes are down. They're planning on expanding runway 422, 250 feet this year.
What's the orientation of that?
Is that the one that goes into Baytown?
Yeah, that's in Baytown. They're going to extend it to the east, which would be away from West Lakeland, which is the good news. And the other good news, it's going to take flights away from the main runway that come into West Lakeland. They've also added a new equipment building and a gazebo.
Well, thanks for that update, John. Appreciate it. All right. Let's see, what else? Well, I guess that covers it, as far as I'm concerned, under old and new business. Anybody else got any old or new business address? If not, we have our public comment period here. If anybody has any comment to that, yeah. Yes,
Go ahead.
Dan. Yeah.
Actually, Chairman, supervisors, actually I have a little bit of a new business.
Okay.
My computer died this week. It was sad.
Yeah.
It was really sad. About 6 months ago, I started getting the blue screen of death,
Ooh.
and it just progressively was showing up more and more often. You know, it just would say that there's a big error, and then it says we're shutting down and restarting in the middle of whatever I'm doing. And then this past week, a error message started showing up, and it's like permanent now on my screen. And I took it to
Yeah.
there.
Andrew, there
I
he is.
I took it to Andrew, and that was Friday. Was it Friday? Yes, it was Friday. And we initially thought he could repair it, not me. He could repair it. And he spent a couple hours on it at my place. It just the computer just wasn't being cooperative.
Yep.
So he took it home, and then he'd been working on it all weekend, and with the hopes that if he couldn't repair it, then maybe he would just reload Windows. It wouldn't reload Windows. Fortunately, he was able to retrieve my files before it just kind of, it's done. So what I'm asking for is a new township laptop to replace this one. I'm not sure what computers or laptops are going for, but I don't need anything fancy. Just because all I do is emails and some township business looking up for materials and work and stuff like that. So I can
So,
ask Andrew what's an appropriate
yeah.
laptop to use.
Yeah, let's do that. And I mean, I suppose we should, is this just something that we buy out of our, sort of, general account or something, or do we have to, specify an expenditure?
Yeah, we just buy them as they come up, but inevitably we'll, say every few years there'll be like something stuck in for maybe a board member or myself or for Carrie. So we'll just kind of look ahead and say, we want to borrow from this budget now because we didn't have one.
It's
set
just
for
part of
Danny.
expense, it's just
Yeah.
part of like supplies type thing. So let's do that, yeah, so maybe we can check with Andrew about what would be appropriate, and we don't have to do that right now, I mean, we can do that offline, I would think, and then we'll just probably, Carrie, are you the one that kind of procures that stuff usually for people? Or does Andrew do that now? I don't know.
Andrew does that now.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
You can do that now, Andrew?
Well, let's,
Oh, okay.
okay, so we'll try to work with Andrew here to get you, something that works.
Okay.
Usually when smoke comes up out of them, it's over, I don't know if that-
Well, I thought about throwing it out into the snow. Maybe it would help, but
Yeah, right.
but
I
thought
could shock it back into.
yes, the cold.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Mr. Chair,
Yeah,
Do you want to approve an up to amount so that?
well,
you
sure,
can
maybe we
get
should
it?
do that. And so, yeah, so, Andrew, what should we have for an up to amount? I'll leave it up to you, Andrew, to, help with a final selection and everything, but, maybe we should approve an up to expenditure amount, and what would you recommend that amount be?
I would say 2,000 would be an upper limit.
Okay? And we don't have to spend all that. I hope.
It will slice and dice potatoes for me too.
A little more expensive than they should be right now, so. I'm expecting.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, sure.
I've got a new computer sitting in the box there you can have,
Oh, we do?
because I'll no longer be needing it.
Okay, but we'll presumably have a new board member that might need it. I don't know.
Well,
So-
then you can get them a new one, and he's got one today.
We'll work it out, but we should probably approve an expenditure up to, as Andrew says, maybe up to $2,000 to purchase a new laptop.
The thing is, John, I need it now. I can't wait until you're off the board.
Yeah. So
I'm off the board.
I'll move that we approve the expenditure of up to 2,000 for the new laptop. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved in second, and any further discussion about that? We'll work something on, I think. We'll need a roll call.
Chairman Moosberger,
Aye.
Supervisor Dana,
Aye.
Supervisor Bulow.
Okay. All right.
Well, thank you very
You
much.
betcha.
Just wanted to say one more thing is,
Yeah.
when Jenny mentioned about our previous cleanup days, why we decided to stop doing them, was that we were paying about $18,000 to $20,000 for those cleanup days, and then we also found out that approximately 15 to 20% of the stuff that was being brought to the cleanup days was from outside of the township.
Sure.
So we were we were subsidizing other communities to get rid of their junk. So that's why we decided it wasn't,
It was wildly popular.
it was, oh yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
expensive.
Just one incident was where Steve Ebner went down at Neal Avenue,
Yeah.
and he parked himself on the south side of 94, and he saw you wouldn't believe it, it's like a dozen trucks bringing trailers up Neal Avenue, and we're heading to our cleanup day. So yeah, he just found it was he was just amazing. Like, come on, people, So, but anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up to your attention.
All right. Thank you,
Well,
Dan.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes.
I got a couple things.
Okay.
Well, that township cleanup day was a really great social event too. I miss it.
Yes, I know.
But I was wondering, what is the policy regarding who the township purchases laptops for?
I think it's just for basically staff, and I guess it's for staff of one kind or another.
I'm just curious because a laptop for a building manager, but the IT guys didn't have a laptop, and planning commission members don't have laptops. So I was just curious, what is the
Oh.
policy?
Yeah, maybe they should. I don't know. What?
Well, I don't know. I'm not asking for one because fine, but I'm just saying, I'm just curious what the policy is. So, and what we spend on laptops and everything. So
As far
anyway,
as I know, it's staff, but maybe we should revisit that. Maybe we should.
so that's the policy, is that staff, the board members too, though,
Yeah, but
right?
I'm not staff.
Yeah.
Well,
And I
yeah.
don't really, I've never used my township laptop since I do everything on the cloud or remote in.
That's why I was curious. Like, John, do you use your township laptop?
No.
Yeah.
It seems kind of goofy.
I must be the only one who uses it. I use my
I
township
think
laptop.
we will now. If that's the only way we can get into the
Well, the file
server, but we can revisit that at a later
So is
date.
that going to be an access problem for people that don't have a township
That'll
laptop?
be, I think
then?
that's gonna be a separate conversation.
Separate topic, okay.
No, I think Andrew is putting the required software on planning commission members' laptops, right?
Yes.
But
so-
personal laptops,
What if planning commission members don't want township software on their
Yeah.
personal computers?
right?
Well, that's a good question. And if you want, maybe if planning commission members want to request that they be issued a laptop, I think that seems like a reasonable thing to do. I don't see why we wouldn't. They're certainly
important, members of the township
Well, we
governance.
can talk
so-
about that at our meeting next week, probably, right? See what's required. Okay, that was one thing, but the other thing was, I was curious, on the treasurer's report, there was a $5,700 bill for lawn care, was that right? Well, at the end of the year, because does lawn care now? That's like end of year lawn care at 6,000 or 5,700 to mow the lawn for the whole year? Oh, I got it. They only bill once a year?
They
Really?
probably just
Wow.
bill at the end of the year. 'cause
Oh,
it's
okay, it
tax
was just
year.
sounded goofy. And then the other thing I'm wondering, a question for the lawyer, I guess, the planning commission worked for quite a while on recodification of the ordinances, and they completed that task in 2014. And now the recodified ordinance has been under legal review for about 14 months. So I'm wondering, what is the status and what would be a commitment to complete the legal review of the recodification of the township ordinances?
I am personally not working on it, but I'll communicate that question to Troy Gilchrist.
I mean, I think it's reasonable to get an expectation of schedule because for a long time it's been, well, we'll get to it.
Yeah,
And
I think I've
so-
got partial answer for you. I think the zoning part of the ordinance recodification, we've got a date, don't we, when the draft of that's going to be done? Is it
It's not a date, but it will be available in April.
April? Okay. So in April, we're going to have the zoning part. That's a target date anyway, to have the zoning part of the ordinances done, which I kind of think is maybe one of the more complex parts of it. So that should be finished in April. And that's important because that's the part that this whole procedure change is going to kind of hinge on. And so the target date for that is April, and then of course we'll have to look it over and approve it and so forth. But
And there will be a public hearing and public comment and review for that? I think the last ordinance amendment, there was no public hearing or review. Will there be this time?
I believe there has to be a public hearing for ordinance amendments, including probably the adoption of a wholesale new ordinance. That's required, isn't it? Public hearing.
Yeah, certainly for zoning, there has to be public hearings. But I would assume there may be for the rest of it as well.
It would be a good idea, right?
Yeah.
To get people. Okay, thanks. And then the last one I had was, the last time we had a joint meeting of the planning commission and the board, we couldn't have all our people at the meeting because the notice wasn't published adequately. So maybe the lawyer could review that when that's published and make sure that we don't have a
Well, the
problem
reason
this
for
time.
that was that we didn't have the impression that the entire planning commission was planning, no pun intended, to be there. And so that's why the notice wasn't given.
But
that there
this
was gonna
time
be a
it'll be
planning
published, so
It'll
we
be
won't have that
noticed.
problem.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
so just a
We talked
reminder.
about that already during the meeting
Yeah.
today.
I want to make sure.
Yep.
Because it was very awkward to be excusing 4 of the planning commission.
Well, I think that was just a
members at that
communication
time,
thing
so.
from the planning commission to the clerk that clerk wasn't made clear to the clerk that the entire planning commission was planning to show up.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Thank you. Any other public comment? Make a motion, we adjourn. I'll second that motion. Moved and seconded that we adjourn. Any discussion? All those in favor of adjournment, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Right.
I know. I know it. We can't count on it.